Moving along here. So Jade Cargill said to be out of action past the Royal Rumble in February 2025. WWE are considering alternative plans for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship, including potentially stripping Cargill and Belair of the titles, which they should have already done, and per WrestleVotes. So who knows if that's legit or not. However, Jade looking to be out of action past the Rumble. I don't know. I could see them just capping and saying that so that she shows up at the Rumble and everyone's surprised or whatever. I don't know. She could film in something. Who knows how legit any of the injury claims are. We will see. But apparently she's going to be gone for a while. And I think as soon as it happened, they should have stripped Bianca and Jade. It just doesn't really make sense. Like, we know she's going to be out for a significant amount of time. So John Cena has been confirmed to appear at next year's WWE Elimination Chamber. So we know he'll be in the Royal Rumble. We know he'll be at WrestleMania. He'll be at the Rumble and then Chamber, and then he'll be on the Raw at Netflix. So boom, a lot of John Cena. If you like Cena, the last time is now. Make sure you go and check him out. Obafemi has not been backstage at NXT taping since the Halloween Havoc event in October. And he's pretty much called up. I think they're just possibly waiting for the Rumble. Hopefully they stick him with like a mouthpiece. Not that he can't talk, but I just feel like a guy like this, you want to just keep, it's like Umaga, just keep as much mystique around him as possible. But yeah, even if he just comes in himself and he's a destroyer, you already have Braun being a destroyer though. So where does Obafemi fit into all that? I don't know. I have faith they'll figure it out and they'll book him correctly. But yeah, by all accounts, he's headed to the main roster. So, George, are you overly familiar with Obafemi? Are you a big fan of Obafemi?
He's big on X. He does the whole, if you retweet SmackDown and put my name on it, I will follow you. And he follows you in 2 seconds.
Damn, I did not know that. Oh, I got to get that Obafemi follow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's all over it.
I got to get that Obafemi follow. So X-Pac looking shreddy as Freddie and Eddie, dude, with a Teddy in Betty. Look how shreddy this dude is. And he's like, I was just reading a message on my phone after my workout and accidentally snapped this pic of myself. Also, I just happen to have no shirt on. And he is going to appear on NXT this week here, I believe. So I don't know. Shout out, round of applause, chat, for X-Pac. Six-Pac with the six-pack.
So they're going to have X-Pac and Bischoff on the next NXT.
What's the over-under on Kevin Nash showing up?
That's what I was just, you read my mind.
WWE is preventing Christian Cage from trademarking Captain Charisma. This is per the Wrestling Observer newsletter. George, what do you think about this? Do you give up when people, like if Hologram left AEW and they're like, you can't be Hologram? I mean, it's whack. I don't like it. I wouldn't do that to people. But if I was like in competition with other companies, like, yeah, I would do that to people though. Like if it's my IP, like you can't just go be the Undertaker anywhere, right?
Exactly.
So like I'm not mad when WWE does this, just like I'm not mad when AEW does this or will do this. However, Tony did say he wasn't going to do like this is the only thing. So
he lied.
Yeah, he lied like he did, like he always does, because he's a goddamn liar. We have great Tony Khan stuff as well.
Tell us what you know, you goddamn liar!
Even if they let Christian Cage call himself Captain Charisma, would it make a damn bit of difference?
Well, why would he even do it? Like, what is the point of being Captain Charisma in AEW? But also, he might just want to own his own.
Yeah, which ain't gonna happen.
Right, but like, but I'm okay with like dudes wanting to own their own too. Like, I'm okay with Macho Man owned Macho Man, Hulk Hogan owned Hulk Hogan, right, to a degree. But if you started it in WWE and that's just how they sort of did things, like WWE's not making, or they're not making people, they're not keeping their names from people now. Like Triple H sort of stopped doing that, but yeah, you can't be mad at it either way. So again, the Freakazoids, though, they want to get mad about this. Oh, WWE's disgusting. Of course they would, but it's like if Hologram left and they didn't let him be Hologram, you wouldn't keep the same energy. We know that about these sickos. But yeah, shout out WWE, I guess, protecting their IP. So here's what Dave had to say. So this is like a Meltzer dumb moment sort of in WWE news, right? But he goes, WWE talent are reportedly, expected to be making, more appearances in, the indies over, the next year. And it's like, bro, what makes you say that, Dave? The fact that we already all know that because they told everyone that? It's crazy. They're expected to make more. Yeah. Yeah, we know, buddy. Everyone's already known that over the next year. Oh, you mean like how they've been doing all of this year or for the whole, So Dave always just saying dumb. But yeah, I guess they're making more indie dates, guys. Hot news in case you guys didn't know.
Wouldn't that make sense with the the WWE ID program?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
George was about to take it back to the WWF days.
I was
bro.
going back there. I was going
let's
there.
go. So, Cultaholic Wrestling reports that CM Punk is said to be a model citizen backstage in WWE since his return at last year's Survivor Series. He is believed to have been quite helpful in the company. And then our guy Raj Giri from Gigantic Pop says, kind of weird that during this the Society Reviews person actually responds to this and says, the bar is so low for CM Punk. People are celebrating the fact that he hasn't gotten in a backstage fight in 1 year. And then Raj comes in with a sweet fact check, and he's like, kind of weird that during his near 10-year WWE run, he had 0 backstage fights, and 2 years in AEW, he had 2. Says a lot. That says way more. And think about like Eddie Kingston got in a physical altercation. Andrade did. Lots of people who've never been in them in their careers got in them there. That says a lot more. Thanks, Raj Giri, for pointing that out. Cody Rhodes feels that the current era of WWE should be called the record era. So there's a lot of deliberation about like, what should we call this era of WWE? Some people say Renaissance era. I'm not a big fan of that. I say it's like the superstar era because to me, it's like everyone's a superstar. Like everyone understands what being a WWE superstar entails. But even that's a dumb one. I admit it. But I would almost call it that. It's just like everyone. And what I mean by that is like everyone knows what their role is. Right. And that's like the Attitude Era. But they were ushering in something new. This era is not really ushering in anything new. It's just doing what worked before, but everyone's finally like in that 2024 mode. How do we do pro wrestling in 2024? And everybody just understands their role and their position. So I don't know. I call it the superstar era, whatever you guys want to call it. The Renaissance era, the reality era was one era. Some people say that's now. But yeah, he wants to call it the record era. Cody Rhodes says, I feel like we should call it the record era because we're just breaking records left and right. So yeah, that was him on the Tonight Show. Shout out Cody Rhodes. Ringside Collectibles says that Mattel WWE Elite 116 is up for pre-order, featuring Jade Cargill, Lexis King, Brian Pillman, Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, and Randy Orton. Lexis King and Brian Pillman, I believe, are the first father-son duo to have their action figures like released in the same lineup. I could be off on that. They may have done something like that in the past, but for all you collector geeks out there, Lexis King quote tweeted and he said like, man, this is a dream of mine to have an action figure released alongside my dad. He's like, and I did it, man. Like this is so I didn't bookmark his tweet, but I saw his reaction after. This is like a dream of his. This is something he like visioned. So shout him out, and amazing that, because of Lexis King, we get that those Brian Pillman member berries back a little bit. They're going to make action figures, maybe throw them in the next video game again and stuff like that. And it's good, man. Keep his legacy alive for what it was worth. He was one of the most underrated, I would say, maybe ever in wrestling, in my opinion. Like overall, just maybe not under. People appreciate him maybe more now than then. Like in hindsight's always 2020. But yeah, that's amazing for Lexis King. And then the last bit of WWE news I have, guys, and then we're gonna watch this War Games match. Gabe Kidd tags Randy Orton. So guys, we've been covering Gabe Kidd for the last like handful of weeks. Few months actually, as far as like just checking in with what he's doing and how he's working the shoot work with Kenny and Barry and AEW and keeping it real. And he's one of these guys who don't give a, and he really ride or dies for New Japan. And Gabe Kidd tags Randy Orton in a tweet and goes, "What you saying, fam? Speak to your boss and come fight me. You could never do what I do. If you disagree, come do something." So jumping in on this all these marks going, Ospreay clears Orton, which we're going to get later in our Sicko segment, which is so stupid. And I have the perfect, simplest response to all that. But Gabe Kidd jumped on it and was like, yeah, Orton, what's up? You bum. Like, come in here and fight me in New Japan. And hey, man, I think WWE's open to that, but they just won't because New Japan works with AEW. But otherwise, if Gabe Kidd went to neutral territory, like somewhere else in Japan, but they'd never let him do it. But if he did, I think they'd let it happen. Like if they went to Noah or All Japan or something, but can't really be doing that. So shout out Gabe Kidd for trying to make something happen. And he'd lay down for Orton. So imagine Orton's going to New Japan and laying some RKOs, dude. I would be so into that. And it's that era, dude. We're going to see stuff like that happen. Triple H and Nick Khan are going to be the guys who let it happen. So, yeah, shout them out for that. And then, yeah, we have just the tickets here for War Games. Rogers Arena, Vancouver, and tickets distributed 16,796. The last update was 2 days ago, so this bitch is sold out for sure. With walk-ups and all that. If they want to play that game for AEW, then, you know, this sold out. And then 17,288 is the current setup. So, yeah, just an insane packed house. Tickets apparently were astronomically expensive.